The Bermuda Triangle is known worldwide as one of the most mysterious places where aircrafts and ships have gone missing or disappeared. Whilst the Bermuda Triangle still remains an enigma, have you ever stopped to wonder if there were other such places in the world where these mysterious disappearances take place? So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 mysterious triangles besides the Bermuda Triangle to question what is happening elsewhere and potentially uncover the answers experts have been searching for. Bennington Triangle. The Bennington Triangle is located in the state of Vermont in the United States. It's sometimes also referred to as the Triangle of Doom and has long been known for its mysterious activity. Whilst the borders of the triangle are not specific, the triangle is centered around Glastonbury Mountain in Vermont. Vermont has been a place where UFO sightings have occurred, among other paranormal activities. The most concerning mystery is the missing people. The bizarre disappearances are unexplained and have been happening since the colonial days. The most noteworthy disappearances happened between 1945 and 1950, and people started to take note. In 1945, a 74-year-old hunter named Middy Rivers went missing while on the trail with 3 other people. After a long day out in the woods, they proceeded to head back, and Rivers was at the front of the group. Suddenly, he disappeared before their eyes. As an experienced hunter for many years, his friends and the authorities had trouble understanding what could have happened. The second disappearance happened just a year later, but this time it was a young woman of 18 years old named Paula Weldon. She went on a hike alone around 4 p.m. after work, where many other hikers saw her along the trail. She never returned home that night, and a missing persons case was opened soon after. Not a single trace of her was found, and her disappearance still remains a mystery today. 3 years to the day of Paula Weldon's disappearance, another disappearance took place. James E. Tedford was leaving Vermont and on a bus towards Bennington along with 14 other passengers. He was seen sleeping 1 second and then the next, he vanished before their eyes. It made no sense as the bus was moving and hadn't come to a stop, yet he was gone. He had also left behind his luggage, wallet, and everything else that was with him on the bus. Tedford was never seen again, and news of the Bennington Triangle began to grow. There were 2 other mysterious disappearances that took place in 1950 in the Bennington Triangle that remain unsolved. Of course, people have tried to make sense of these horrifying incidents and questioned if these were linked to someone doing this. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a pattern to go off when comparing the 5 cases, so it stopped that theory in its tracks. With so many disappearances lacking an explanation, the Bennington Triangle is one of the last places you'd want to visit. Bridgewater Triangle. The next mysterious area is also found in the United States, more specifically in the state of Massachusetts. Just 30 miles outside of Boston, you'll find the Bridgewater Triangle, which encompasses 6 towns: Raynham, Taunton, Brockton Mansfield, Norton, and Easton. A paranormal researcher by the name of Lauren Coleman gave Bridgewater Triangle its name in 1970 after a vast number of paranormal activities were reported in the area. The Hockomock Swamp is one of many mysterious landmarks in the area. An 8,000-year-old Native American burial ground was found at this site, and archaeologists couldn't believe what happened when they opened the graves. It is said that the tombs bubbled before vanishing. The swamp is still known as a superstitious site where spirits dwell. Within the Hockomock Swamp is Dighton Rock, which is known for unusual carvings on the face of the rock. There have been many speculations as to how the carvings got there, but nothing has been confirmed. The Anawan Rock is also located within the swamp, and it's said that the angry spirits of Chief Anawan's warriors haunt the surrounding area. Profile Rock is yet another landmark with a paranormal reputation. With carvings of a North American face on the rock, the natives believe it to be sacred, and legend says that Native American ghosts dance around the rock. If the mysterious rock carvings are not enough, There have been various UFO sightings within the Bridgewater Triangle. The first report was in 1760, which would most likely make it the first documented sighting on the planet. There were many more sightings in the 1900s, adding to Bridgewater Triangle's mysteries. Mysterious creatures have also been said to wander through the Bridgewater Triangle. Reports of Bigfoot-like creatures surfaced in the 1970s, and when further investigated, experts were unable to come to a conclusion. Other creatures have been seen in the area with no explanation. With just about every ounce of unusual activity within the Bridgewater Triangle, it wouldn't be complete without a few ghost stories. Ghostly phantoms have been spotted many times, making the triangle even more spooky. It can be challenging to imagine that so many paranormal acts have taken place or been recorded in one area. Do you believe the ghost stories, or do you think that some stories have been embellished over time for dramatic purposes? Dragon's Triangle, also known as Devil's Sea. The Dragon's Triangle, which is also sometimes referred to as the Devil's Sea or the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. Located between Japan and the islands of Berlin, you'll find one of the 12 vile vortices. These are specific geographic areas around the globe where there have been unexplained disappearances. All are cautioned to stay away from these areas as the exact location isn't identified and the disappearances happen within the general perimeter of the triangle. The paranormal activities found among the Dragon's Triangle are similar to that of the Bermuda Triangle and have perplexed experts for years. The name comes from a Chinese myth that states dragons from below the surface of the water attack ships, consuming the crew. Since this has been a long-standing myth since 1000 BC, it only made sense to refer to the area as the Dragon's Triangle. One of the most interesting facts when comparing it to the Bermuda Triangle is that they sit directly opposite one another and they don't appear on any official global maps. With many men lost at sea within the Dragon's Triangle, the Japanese funded research into the specific area in the 1950s. With 100 experts seeking to find answers, Japan was hopeful they would return. Unfortunately, the vessel disappeared, and Japan pulled out of the study. In 1995, Larry Kush wrote a book debunking the Bermuda Triangle and also touched on the Japanese vessel that went missing. He claimed that the vessel was lost outside of the Dragon's Triangle, only carried 31 people, and it has been destroyed by an undersea volcano. This sparked a conversation and debate regarding natural occurrences and whether or not the Dragon's Triangle had anything to do with paranormal activity. Besides the underwater volcano being a possibility of some of the disappearances, methane ice has also been looked at when exploring potential reasonings. When methane ice explodes, it forms bubbles along the surface of the water that disturb the buoyancy and would have destroyed the ship without leaving any signs. The hot and cold ocean currents may also be at play within the Dragon's Triangle. The combination of the hot and cold currents are known to create electromagnetic disturbances which can trap ships that are passing through. Only certain areas of the world are known to have this type of electromagnetic pull, and it just so happens that those areas, such as the Bermuda and Dragon's Triangle, experience many unknown disappearances. With countless sources speaking about the legends of the Dragon's Triangle and the Bermuda Triangle alike, it's challenging to come to a conclusion. The perimeters of both vary from author to author, and the legends have changed over the years, making it difficult to know what to believe. Do you think that the legends are myths and the disappearances are solely due to natural causes? Whether or not these disappearances were due to paranormal activity, we can't ignore the number of lives that have been lost within the Dragon's Triangle. After hearing the stories of many who have disappeared out of thin air, what do you think? Are you able to draw any rational conclusions, or are you as puzzled as the rest of us? The unusual activity continues to confuse experts who are still searching for answers and trying to unearth what could have happened to these innocent people. While we strive to understand what happened, we may never have the answers. We'll have to live with not knowing and hope that these spooky spots don't continue to take more lives while haunting the rest of us. But what do you make of these mystery disappearances? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.